I was just so over how I was feeling. I was so over it. And I'm not going to cry. All right, let's get this started. Hi, my name is Vita and welcome to my channel. Today, I'm going to be sharing something very vulnerable, but I feel led to share it. I've been holding this in for a week and I'm so glad that I'm able to release it now. I'm hoping that me sharing this vulnerability will be able to help other people who may be going through the same thing or who have gone through the same thing. I just want to share this to help someone, hoping to help someone and encourage someone. So today we're going to be talking about health and fitness, and the main focus today is how the Lord healed my broken self-image. So I have notes. I was trying to think of how I wanted to do this. If I were to just kind of talk, I feel like I would ramble so much and I wouldn't hit each point like how I would like to. So I have notes here just to kind of keep me on track and stay on point of everything that I want to talk about. So let's get into it. Okay, so how it started. Like a lot of girls in their younger age, you start to compare yourself with other people, and it doesn't even have to be friends. You compare yourself to family, and that's where it started for me. I started to compare myself to my family. Now, I grew up in a Hispanic home. I'm half Mexican, half Black. My mom is Mexican, my dad is Black. And I did not look like everyone around me. On my dad's side, you have very curvy, voluptuous women. And then on my mom's side, there were very short, petite type of body shapes around me. And I didn't fit in that category. I was tall, I was skinny, and I stuck out like a sore thumb. And I would look at some of my family members and would say things like, I don't want to look like that, like I want to look like that. Like I would just point out certain characteristics of their body that I wanted and that I didn't want. And I just had that mentality for years. And I think this is where my self-image getting ruined started. So in high school, I picked up strength training. There was a class where you just lifted weights. They had competitions where, you could compete in. So I was really interested in that. I loved it. I wanted to be stronger. And that's kind of where my fitness journey started, was then. And I didn't really understand how strong I really was and how strong that I could be. And I just love the community and the environment of strength training and fitness. Going on to my adulthood, I get married. I have kids. Now, when I got married, I was the smallest I've ever been. I was about 145 pounds, give or take, and I'm 5'8", so I was very skinny, but I had muscle. So I guess not skinny, but toned. I was very toned. And I was in like a calorie deficit often, and I just really wanted this image of myself of just being lean, having abs, having muscle definition, and not like gaining a bunch of weight, or like that wasn't even on my radar. I just wanted to be lean. Like that's it. And obviously things shifted when I got married, and when I had kids. So I had my first child like a year in to like my relationship. So I didn't technically like gain the like married 15 because I got pregnant very, very soon after I got married. So obviously you gain weight when you're pregnant, and all of my kids are like back to back. So like the little time that I had in between them, like I would lose all of the weight, I would get back in shape, and then I'd get pregnant again. So that was very frustrating for me. And I think that was probably like why I dislike being pregnant, because my body was gaining weight and I didn't recognize myself anymore, and I felt like I was losing myself and all of this, because I didn't have the energy to work out, so I didn't work out. I ate pretty much whatever I wanted, and I lost myself in my pregnancies. And after my last child, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't get pregnant anymore. Like, I want my body back. I want to feel confident again and all of this. Now, obviously, my husband, being the amazing guy that he is, he always told me that I was beautiful, always told me that I look good, like always complimented me, never made me feel bad or anything about how I looked. It was just an internal thing that I was struggling with. As an adult and being pregnant multiple times, I did try to give myself grace. I did try to, like take care of myself the best way that I could. I knew that I was not going to get back to the weight that I was pre-marriage. I knew that. I knew it wasn't going to happen. So I kind of like just let go of that dream and just try to be healthy. And so I would just work out, and I was in a calorie deficit. And yeah, I think during that time, my relationship with food became very unhealthy. I not only like had a bad relationship with food, but I just couldn't take a compliment at that time. Like, my husband, like I said, he would tell me all of these great things about me, and I know he was saying it genuinely and sincerely. I just couldn't take a compliment, and just like not even about my looks, just like, you're a good mom, and just, all of that stuff. Like, I just felt like he was just saying it because he had to. And even other people who would compliment me or tell me, how amazing I am, whatever the case may be, like, I just felt like they were just saying it. Like, I didn't believe that they were being honest and genuine. I just felt like, you have to say that because you're my friend. Like, you have to say that because you're my husband. And I just had this very unhealthy mindset towards that, and I struggled with it for a long time. So me liking fitness and kind of being in the fitness, I wouldn't say like heavily in the fitness community, but I followed a lot of fitness content creators and influencers, and I feel like that didn't help at all with how I looked at myself. I feel like that made it a lot worse. Seeing all of these women who, obviously this is their job, like they've done it for years, and I know that now, but then I'm just like, I want to look like that. Like, I would say that I was using it for inspiration, but I was actually comparing myself to them, and I just wasn't realistic. Like, these people do this for a living. They've done this for years. That's why they're coaches and all of this stuff. And I would see people like have kids and bounce back, and I would just compare myself, and it just really messed up my perception of how I look and how I'm created and how I'm designed. In this process of trying to refine myself, I was like changing my clothing style. I would buy clothes all the time and just change my style all the time. I went from straightening my hair all the time to like embracing my natural curls. I just tried to change everything about me so that I would feel comfortable and confident, and it just wasn't hitting like I thought it would. I would have like moments where I'm like, oh yeah, like this is it, like I'm finally confident, I'm finally happy, and then boom, it would just hit me. I'm just like, no, like I'm just like nitpicking and just coming up with excuses, and it was just really bad. I just kind of I was in a cycle. I was in a cycle of never being happy with how I looked. And that's when I realized that I have a self-image issue. I was unhealed in that area, and I didn't like fully recognize it. I just knew like I shouldn't feel like this. I just knew like, why do I feel like this? Why do I keep going back and forth? Why am I in a cycle? Why, like, it was a bunch of whys, and I just did not have an answer. But when the whys started, I started to notice little things that I would do. So I would look for validation in other things. I would run to so many different things to find acceptance and validation. I would run to video games. I would run to fitness. I would run to fashion. I would run to ministry. I would run to everything under the sun except for the one thing that I should have been running to. It got so bad to the point that I was almost like just performing, like I was just doing things just to get acceptance. I was just doing things, and I became a people pleaser. Like, it was very hard for me to say no. I just wanted to feel loved, and I did that. Not knowing what I was doing, like I just felt like I was chasing acceptance, chasing love, and thinking like, oh, this is gonna be what's gonna fix everything, when it wasn't. I was never happy with my weight. I was never happy with how I looked. I was never happy with my accomplishments. I was just not happy at all. I would nitpick everything. I would nitpick how I look, how I talk, how I dress, my weight. Like, I would tear myself apart. I don't know what came over me, but I know what it was. It was the Holy Spirit. That's what came over me. Just one day, I felt like I just got fed up. Like, I was just so over how I was feeling. I was so over it. And I'm not going to cry. I promised myself I wasn't going to cry. I'm not going to cry. So one day I was just taking a shower, and I talk to the Lord a lot when I'm doing chores and taking showers and stuff. I don't know why. I just do. But I asked the Lord to help me. I said, I really, really need help with this. I really need help. I'm so tired of going back and forth with my weight and picking myself apart, and I'm just so tired of it. And I'm like, I sincerely, desperately just need your help. I need you in this area. That was it. I was just like, I need you 100% in this area. I was so tired of trying. I was so tired of doing all the things on my own. I was tired. I was done. A lot of the times I felt like an imposter. I felt like I'm not who I say I am. Like, I'm not who people think I am. Like, I just felt like an imposter, and I just wanted peace, and I just wanted to be content with where I was, who I was, and who God saw me to be. A couple of days after that, I was journaling. I was in my word and in his word, and I was journaling, and I can't remember what triggered it, but I just kept surrendering to the Lord even before this specific moment. I just surrendered it all to the Lord. I'm like, I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm just going to leave it all in your hands. But this day that I was journaling and I was in his word, I had a vision, and the vision came from God. And the vision was how he saw me. I have no words at all. If I can't explain the beauty that I saw. I remember it, but it's like I don't have the words for it. I genuinely don't have the words for the amount of beauty that I saw. And he was just showing me how he looked at me. And I broke. I completely broke when I saw that. I've never, in my 32 years of life, I've never saw myself like that before. And to see that, and I just broke. I cried. And that moment shifted everything for me. It shifted so many things for me. I realized that I had come into agreement with so many lies from the enemy. I took on this image of myself that was not true. And I carried it for so long that I believed that it was true. And when I saw that, when I got to see his perspective of me, because that's truth. That is the truth. And it shattered all the lies that I believed for so long. And after that moment, things just started to change. So everything that I was wanting that quick became my reality. The Lord showed me that I, one, came into agreement with all of these lies. And on top of that, I started to idolize myself. And I didn't know this at all. I'm just thinking that, I just want to be healthy. I just want to take care of myself. But it was like the mindset, the intention behind it was not pure, was not of God. I finally became content with everything about me, because everything about me, he loves everything about me. He loves how I am, my personality, how I look. And I just sat in that, and I just felt so much content and love again for myself that I never had. I ended up gaining about 15 to 20 pounds, and I didn't care. I didn't care. Before, I would freak out. Like, I would do everything I could to try to lose that weight, but I just was content and happy. Like, I was okay with that. Didn't bother me at all. Then if I had a moment where my mind would almost go back to the unhealed part of me, the Lord would come in and he would comfort me. And through all of this healing, inner healing, he would give me scripture to fight against any lies of the enemy. He gave me weapons to fight back. And every time that I would have one of those moments, his word would come to the forefront of my mind. And it would remind me of the vision that he gave me, of how he sees me and how much love he has for me, his plans for me, his promises for me. I decided to remove all of the fitness influencers that I felt like I shouldn't follow them anymore, almost like a conviction, but I just felt like I don't need to see this. And I started to follow more women that were had realistic content, where they wouldn't shy away from what a normal body looks like, a normal healthy body. I started to follow those type of women, and I felt so much comfort, and I didn't feel any shame or comparison. Like, wow, this is normal. Like, there's nothing wrong with when you sit down, you have a roll. Like, there's nothing wrong with cellulite. Like, I'm just so grateful for the women that are in fitness that make that type of content, because it breaks the stereotypes and it breaks these mindsets and thought patterns that you have to be perfect. Shortly after that, my relationship with food started to heal. I started to just eat to have energy, to be full. Like, I would intuition eat. Like, I would just eat when I was hungry. I wouldn't overeat. I would allow myself to indulge in, cookies and ice cream and all of this stuff. Like, I just didn't restrict myself like I did before, and looked at food differently as a source of energy and nourishment instead of punishment. The Lord surprisingly took me through a season of modesty, and I feel like it goes hand in hand with this, because I got to kind of cover everything that I would use to get acceptance from. So, like, I have big curly hair, and I haven't had the desire to like really have my hair out all the time. Like, I've just been like really like wanting to have my hair up. So in this season, I had my head covered with like a scarf or something. My head would be covered. And so I used to get a lot of compliments on my hair, and that was usually like the first thing that people saw when they saw me was my hair. And so having it covered and having my body covered, it really made me see modesty in a new way. I grew up in a very like strict religion, I guess you can say, and modesty almost kind of felt like a punishment. And so I struggled with it a lot, but the Lord reintroduced it to me in a new way that I never saw before. And you hear about it all the time, like modesty is a heart posture. It starts from the inside and it works its way out. And like, the Lord showed me so many things in that season of just my body being a temple that the Holy Spirit dwells in. And even like, I thought about this, like, okay, if you have a home, you've purchased a house, right? And it might not be perfect, that's totally fine, but you want your house to be beautiful. You want to take care of it. If there is a hole in the wall, you're gonna cover it, you're gonna get it fixed. If a window is broken, you're gonna replace that. Like, that's the point. Like, you want to take care of it because it's yours. You want to take care of it because it means something to you. And so like, the Lord showed me, I've bought you with a price. I bought you with a price. And your body doesn't belong to you. It is my temple where I dwell in. And that shook me to the core. That changed everything. Like, I always heard it from other people, but I never had a firm grasp on that. I just kind of went with what everybody said, but I never had it engraved in my heart the way that I do now. So now I just look at my body completely different. This is a temple to the Lord, and I want to honor him, and it belongs to him. He should have a say so. This temple belongs to him, and he has a say so. And I'm going to listen, abide by that. So I got one more point and we'll be done. I started working out again. I took some time off from working out while I was kind of going through all of this. And, you know, I'm on the worship team, flagging dance team at our church. And if you've never flagged before, I'm going to tell you this now. It is an arm workout. It is a serious arm workout. And my arms would be burning. So I'm just like, I need to start taking care of myself. I need to build some muscle. I need to build some endurance and some strength so that I'm not winded when I'm worshiping the Lord in this way. So every time I would work out, the Lord would just so sweetly just speak to me and say, you know, this is my temple and I'm pleased, and just things like that. And it would just encourage me to just stay where I am and not to drift off into trying to get acceptance or try to prove something with how I look. And I'm just so grateful and thankful for him doing that, because he answered my prayer. He came in and he did exactly what needed to be done. That's all I'm gonna leave you guys with. I do want to take a moment and just say, if you're feeling like this, a lot of the work started when I surrendered to the Lord. And so I am always going to recommend going to the Lord about anything you're struggling with, because let's be honest, we've done everything that we can. We've tried everything that we can possibly try, and it never works. It never works. It always fails. And so take it to the Lord. I went through deliverance. I went through counseling. I went through inner healing, and I had a very deep, deep root of abandonment and rejection and fear. And once the Lord uprooted those things, everything else just flowed so naturally and just so beautifully. And there was just not any like hindrance or delay or struggle anymore. Once he uprooted those things, it was a beautiful journey to go through with him. But it starts with surrender. It starts with surrender. And so I just pray that you would surrender to the Lord, that you would yield to him and let him do the work in you. Because I bled on so many people being unhealed. Like I've hurt people because I was unhealed. So don't bleed on anybody and don't hurt another person. Lay yourself on the altar before the Lord. Ask him to do a deep work inside of you. And I would love to hear your testimony. If you've gone through anything like this, please, I want to hear what you've done in the comments. And if you are not already subscribed, I hope that you subscribe to my channel. And if you like this type of stuff, please give me a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, just so I know what kind of content you guys like. But I'm just being led by the Holy Spirit on what I should record and all of that stuff. But thank you guys for taking your time to listen to me and watch this video. I hope you have a blessed day. Love you. Bye.